beloved superintendent of New York's Roslyn School District and his staff, friends, and relatives become the prime suspects in the unfolding of the single largest public school embezzlement scandal in American history. Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Movie Files. Elliot back again with a brand new HBO movie review for Bad Education, which actually premiered at TIFF last year, but just had its world premiere over this past weekend on HBO. And I'm very excited to give you guys my thoughts on this film in this non-spoiler review. Before we dive into it, as you can see on the screen now, make sure you're following me on all my social media accounts. If you're new to this channel, definitely consider subscribing. Hit that bell so you don't miss any of my new content. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. I really appreciate it, and also helps out the channel a lot. Also, last but not least, guys, if and when you've seen this film, Bad Education, I want to know what you guys thought of this film. What you think of the performances? Were you rocked at the end of this film in regards to the storytelling and the true life aspect of this film? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. So this was a film that I had on my radar for a bit. I love the cast. I'm always intrigued about these stories that involve embezzlement and people that tend to be, good standing citizens in their community, but they do these kind of really, really bad things and how it all plays out. And that's exactly what this film has to offer. So it is based on the book and also based on true events. I gotta tell you guys, I was blown away by this film in regards to the performances given. It goes without saying that Hugh Jackman he just seems to be such a great guy, but in regarding his career in acting, he's such a phenomenal actor. I think of performances, obviously we know him as Wolverine. I think of Logan, I also think of Prisoners, but this has to be up there in regards to some of his best performance on screen. Playing this real life superintendent who we all have that person that we can probably think about right now in regards to people that we always looked up to, that always said the right things, did the right things, looked out for people, remembered every little detail about you, but then they make decisions that can define them. And that's really where I want to go about this in this review. One of the things I took away from this film as a positive is I always am fascinated by this conversation. You have a person that's played by Hugh Jackman that plays Frank, the superintendent of the school, and again, seems to be this perfect person that people look up to him, he makes the right decisions. But when they make a decision like Frank does, and the other characters that we'll talk about here in a bit, when they make a decision like this, does that define them as a person? That one bad decision again, no one died in this incident, as far as I know, and at least the film didn't, display that. But there was money embezzlement, and there were people affected by that, and there was just bad decisions being made. But does that decision define that person and all the good that they did? Does it erase all that? So that's what I really took away from this film in regards to that concept and that idea that I always think about when it comes to these embezzlement stories, whether it be from schools or be from hospitals or the political people. It's just like I always just think about that. It's just like, does that one bad decision define all the good things they've done in their life? And that's what I really liked about this film, because we get to dive into these characters to a certain extent, and we see again and again the performance by Hugh Jackman, guys. I cannot say it enough. This is up there as far as Logan, Prisoners, in this film. He gives such a great performance. There's new layers to Hugh Jackman that I've never seen in a film before personally. I've seen a lot of his movies. There's certain relationships that they dive into with this character that I've never seen him perform before. There's a moment in this film where he's just so upset and just wants to just explode, and I just love the performance that we get with Hugh Jackman. And he's surrounded with a lot of talented people. I was so surprised by the people in this cast. I forgot that Romano was in this film, Alex Wolff, and I won't give off the whole cast because there's some very good surprises in this film. But you think of Allison Janney, who's just a phenomenal actress, and her and Hugh Jackman's performance to me were just automatic, so well done. I thinking of her playing Pam, character that people looked up to Pam. They trusted Pam, and then she makes this bad decision, and all that good that she did in her career is now erased. But also, without giving too much away, there's a particular thing that Pam does kind of throws, they kind of throw Pam under the bus at a certain point in this film, and I kind of like that element of the film and the stuff that she gave. So again, I can't go without saying Hugh Jackman and the performance that we get with Allison Janney were just phenomenal as Frank, as Alice or Pam. But there's also another character, Geraldine, who I am a big fan of just from seeing her in Blockers. And when I saw her in Blockers, I said, this young lady is going to have a bright career, and she does a really good job in this film. She kind of plays this character, the journalist, who is, wants to make a puff piece, as she calls it, about her school and kind of the funding of the school and this whole Skywalk project they were doing. And in doing so, and I love it, and there's a moment in the movie where it was Frank that actually kind of pushed her and kind of nudged her to investigate more. And I kind of love that there. But I thought that she was great. And this is a lot of great things to say about this film. Again, the biggest thing I took away, other than the performances, was the idea of what happens when you're seeing these people that are looked at, that are revered and just really known to be good in their community, and they make these bad decisions. Not just one decision, but a decision that impacted years and affected a lot of financials with the school. Does that define that person? Does all the good they've done in their whole career just be wiped away? All the colleges that they put kids in through, all the motivational things that they've done, is that all erased once they make a decision like they made in this film? And I love that aspect. In regards to criticisms, again, I'm a big fan of the director, actually, who directed, Cory Finley, who directed Thoroughbreds from 2017, which is a film I really enjoyed. I really thought he elevated his game, and there were moments, and getting to my cons here, I can see the evolution from him as a director from Thoroughbreds into this. But I have to say, it was about 1 hour and 49 minutes, and I normally don't say this a lot, but I would have liked more from the film in regards to the runtime. You're getting these fascinating characters and these great stories, but I feel like there were some stories that I really would like to have dove deeper into, whether that be Frank's character or Pam's character, or, you see, Geraldine's character, Rachel, and her father relationship. I would have loved to have dove deeper into some of those characters. And you bring this up, and I bring this up sometimes. I wish that some movies were maybe made into shows where you can get an HBO series, a miniseries, 5 to 6 episodes to dive into those individual characters. And that's probably my biggest thing when you have an ensemble cast like this, and such a great cast. Again, Romano, Alex Wolff, there's so many secondary characters that I wish would have spent a little bit more time with, but I wish that we did spend more time with them. And like I said, if it was on HBO as a TV series, I think we would have got more fleshed out moments. But in regards to cons, outside of that, in regards to spending more time with the characters, there's not much else that I can think about. There are some moments in the script where I thought could have been a little bit more beefed up and had a little bit more investment in certain angles and certain themes within the story. But besides those little things, guys, this is a really well done film. Again, seeing Cory from Thoroughbreds into this, the performance by Hugh Jackman, Allison Janney, Geraldine, which is phenomenal, and all the little secondary players in the supporting cast fit in well together. So this is a must-see movie, in my opinion, guys. This is I can't think of many HBO films that I've seen in recent memory, but this is one of my favorites that I've seen on that platform. And just a really good film, guys. And all in all, I'm going to give this film a 4 out of 5. I really recommend you all check it out. Again, I love the message. I love that idea about just that decision that they made in this film. It affects them, it affects their legacy, and everything moving forward. So I would love to know what you guys thought about this movie, the performances, your pros, your cons. Let me know in the comments below. As always, like, share, comment, subscribe. Make sure you're following me on all my social media accounts. Check out all my content this past weekend. 2 live streams, 3 or 4 reviews, TV reviews, so much content over the weekend. So definitely check it out. And this week, many more things to come. So as always, thank you for the continued support, and we'll see you on the next video.